I'm with Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio, and welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. So to complete our defrost thermostat repair, we used a common screwdriver, a 1/4 inch nut driver, some wire strippers and cutters, some wire nuts, a little electrical tape, and a volt ohm meter to confirm that the thermostat was bad and the heater is good. Alright, we're on a Frigidaire refrigerator that is not cooling, and the first thing that we noticed when we took the food out is a bunch of frost on the back, so we're probably looking at a defrost issue. So what we're gonna do is get down to the timer and advance this sucker into its defrost cycle. And what we'll do is we'll turn it, like right now you can hear the fan running, and we'll advance this until it clicks. And you'll know you're at the right point when you hear the fan and everything turn off, and that should initiate a defrost. If the once we take the back panel off, if the heater is on, we'll know that the defrost thermostat and heater are good and that we have a bad timer. So now we're going to take out this top rack by pushing in and pulling it out. And then we'll take off this back panel. There's a couple of 1/4 inch screws. And with those gone, we can pull back and remove this back panel. And now we can see the amount of frost buildup there. At this point, take a piece of ice or something and see if the heater is getting hot. By that time it should be glowing. So since it's not, we either have a bad thermostat or heater, and what we'll do is disconnect. There's a plug back here that will disconnect and remove power from those, and that way we can get this guy out of the way and let it thaw. And now we can get our meter out and check through the thermostat and heater. Now while we can electrically check through the heater and thermostat, on this one it's very visual what's happened. If you look right here, you can see where the thermostat has popped up. So it has broken the electrical connection in the thermostat. So what we'll do is we need to replace this thermostat and remove all the frost from the evaporator, and that will definitely fix this appliance. To electrically check through these, it does come through this connector, and you can see the blue, the light blue and dark blue wires. Those will correspond with the 2 pins up here. So electrically it should check open. So we'll just put our meter on there and check it out. And on my meter it's showing a really high resistance value, which would indicate that is bad. Okay, so we're going to replace the pop defrost thermostat on this refrigerator, and we're just gonna clip both connections. Strip the wires back a little bit. And we're going to do the same with our new thermostat. They've already been pre-stripped, but get rid of those guys. And now we can take some wire nuts and attach them to their old connections. While that's a nice secure connection, we're going to add a little electrical tape around there just to keep out any moisture. You can also use silicone if you prefer. We got one side in there. We'll route this behind our lines and get the other one. Add a wire nut and some electrical tape around that one. Now the replacement part doesn't, on the old thermostat you can see the clip on there. The new part requires a second part to actually clip it onto the evaporator. So we are just gonna put that, it's got a little nub on the top to put the clip through, and then we'll just clip it onto the evaporator back here. And with these wires like that, we'll just that one is in the perfect spot, but we'll put a little wire tie around the other one to keep it clean. That will actually fix our repair. Now, something to keep in mind when you have defrost issues like this, a lot of times the drain will be frozen, and in this case where the drain is a little frozen, so we'll put some hot water down there, and where the air should be going down has a bunch of ice in it as well. So we'll just get in the fridge and remove the air duct assembly and make sure that that's all clear, and our repair will be finished. Now we're going to remove this whole assembly just to make sure that all the areas that are frozen are clear, so we get good air movement. And they're just held in place by 4 1/4-inch bolts. Those out of the way. And now this whole assembly will drop. We can remove the electrical connector and take this out of there. And this should be, you should be able to get your hand up through there. So there's, you can see part of it coming through. We'll have to get rid of the rest of the ice that has formed in there. Now that that's completely clear, we can reinstall that and be confident that we'll get good airflow and movement. At this time, you can also check the drain. You can see that we put a towel down there just to catch any overflow. So we're going to pour some water, hot water down the drain, and make sure that it'll drain good as well. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of ice still stuck in that. And now we are completely clear and can reinstall our whole assembly here. This is where that water would come down and drain out through the back down into the drain pan below. So we'll go ahead and line up this hole with the hole in the back here. Reconnect our connector. Line it back up and reinstall our bolts. And with that completed, we'll just put our back panel back on, start the fridge, and let it start cooling. Okay, now to complete our repair, one tricky thing to always check is to make sure that the fan shroud is clear of ice too. Sometimes it will get in there and you'll still have a problem. So we will line up our back panel and install our connector in the back, and then properly seat it down here and reinstall our 1/4 inch screws. A lot of people's first reaction to a fridge that's not cooling is to turn it up to try and get it to cool a little more. So we're gonna make sure we're back at the recommended settings. We can reinstall our shelf. Plug the unit back in, and we are finished with this repair. So on our Frigidaire no cooler refrigerator, we found that we had a bad defrost thermostat. So we replaced that, removed any additional ice on the evaporator, and made sure that our drain line was clear and that the airflow line was clear, and that fixes our fridge. Thank you for watching another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.